Hey everyone, what's up? I know it's been long overdue, and I know our Christian content doesn't garner many views, but I think it's very important, and we will be coming out with a video soon about that stuff, if any of you are thinking about it. Again, I know it doesn't garner much views, but as a watchman, I know I still have to call out warnings as I see it, and it's no different from this boxing stuff. Strange current events happened today. I guess Tszyu versus Keith Thurman has been announced. Crawford, he's training for something. I don't know. Maybe he's still in the gym. I guess we'll find out more as the year goes on. But to me personally, this is kind of a wasted fight. I don't understand why they would even make this fight, to be honest with you. It's not only the style matchup for Keith Thurman. It's not only the fact that he's been inactive and all this other stuff. Even when Keith Thurman was active, he wasn't really a hard worker, and a lot of people don't understand this aspect. He kind of lost fire pretty quickly in his career. The equivalent of his Manny Pacquiao in his career was Danny Garcia. That's when he really started to fall off and really become content with himself. Again, people can say all that they want to say about Floyd, and I get the hate and all that, but he was a hard worker, and he still, like, even for the Shea Mosley fights and things like that, he was working his butt off, guys. He still acted like he was a fighter that was given his little $3,000, to go fight when he was being held around by, Bob Arum, whoever else. The man would take it out on working hard. But Keith Thurman, again, this is a guy who really, for some reason, compares himself to Floyd Mayweather all the time. Will bring up Floyd Mayweather in an interview all the time. He has a weird fascination with Floyd Mayweather. He'll say things that Floyd was the best 7-round fighter or whatever crap he'll say. And you see that he tries to incorporate that, what he thinks Floyd Mayweather is, even in his fighting style. He's, for the most part, a front runner. You're never going to get a full 12-round fight out of Keith Thurman. You're just not. He will go hard for 6 rounds or so, and then he'll give away 6 rounds. He's a front runner, or he'll get tired or whatever else, or he'll start backpedaling or whatever. But in the case of this, okay, so you get the fight at 154, so you don't have to worry about cutting weight. But I think that's even going to be more of an issue for him. I don't think he's going to really work on his strength and conditioning. We know a guy like Terrence Crawford, he would be ready at 154. But Keith Thurman, again, I'm pretty sure this is just for a paycheck and attention. This is what Keith Thurman fights for today. He's going to get to talk in front of a camera. That's his favorite thing to do on earth. The man just loves attention. You know what I'm saying? And he loves to hear himself talk. And again, I don't think he's really, after all the things that we just mentioned that are going to be a problem for him, the long layoff, everything else. Again, I don't think he's even going to work hard enough to even be much of a factor in this fight versus Tszyu. I'm pretty sure Tszyu and his team, they realize that they're just going to have to go to the body on this guy. They're going to walk him down, and I think they are going to stop Keith Thurman. That is my prediction for this fight. Keith Thurman, he doesn't even have his haymaker overhand right that he used to have early in his career anymore. Maybe that's due to injuries or whatever else. He just doesn't have it anymore. What Keith Thurman has now done, he's relied on backpedaling for the most part in his fights. He has a measured lead right. He does have that now. It's more refined and things like that, but it's not as hurtful. It doesn't have as much pop as that haymaker overhand right, again, that he had early in his career, which he did telegraph and things like that. But when it did land, it would buckle people or whatever. But he relies on a left hook counter for the most part now. That's probably his best money shot now, is that left counter hook. We see him catch some guys off guard with that punch, but he relies on it too much now. And I just don't think that's going to be enough for to really keep Tszyu honest. I don't know. I just see this fight as a waste of time. This is more PBC, just using a name and a guy who's going to talk in front of a camera to try to sell a fight. But again, I don't really see this as worth anything as far as merit in the sport of boxing, and it's kind of confusing why they would come out with this and why Keith Thurman's even doing this. Maybe Keith Thurman knows that, you know, he's been the guy that always says, I need a get back fight and all this, and even Spence takes shots at him saying, you know, I don't need tune-ups or whatever else. Maybe Keith Thurman is finally trying to combat that. Again, I don't know. But personally, I just think this is the wrong fight to do that. I don't know what kind of options they were presenting to him, if they were maybe trying to present to him a guy like Sebastian Formella or something along those lines, of Erickson Lubin. But again, this is just very weird off-ball matchmaking in my opinion, and I really do believe it's a waste of time. I know Keith Thurman hasn't been knocked out before, but he has been knocked down before in his career, even before Manny Pacquiao. They lied and say that Manny was the first guy to knock him down. That's not the case. Do your research, guys. He was almost knocked out in the first round against a bum. But this fight, again, I don't know what Keith Thurman's going to come in here and do. You don't really have a jab. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really establish much today when he goes out there and fights. He just likes to throw punches and bunches. Again, you saw that in the Manny Pacquiao fight. They gave him credit for landing the most punches on Manny Pacquiao ever. But a lot of those were not impactful. And again, I think the punch stat man was really padding up Keith Thurman's stats. As far as the impactful shots, Manny Pacquiao was landing the most impactful shots. You saw Keith Thurman after the fight. You saw him when he got hit to the body and things like that. Another thing too is Keith Thurman is a very disillusioned fighter. Let me say that. There's educated footwork, and then there's footwork like Keith Thurman. He doesn't really have educated footwork. This is what a lot of people don't understand about Keith Thurman. They think just because, once again, he was in close fights with Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, he's highly skilled and all this. And the Sean Porter fight could have gone either way. According to their punch stats, he only landed one more punch than Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? I think it could have been a draw, or it could have even gone to Sean Porter, to be honest with you guys. I'll have to watch that fight. It's been years since I watched it. But I wasn't impressed with him trying to backpedal and just try to land a left hook counter. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, though. But this fight, again, if Keith Thurman hasn't been in the gym, if he hasn't, I don't know, been secretly training this whole time, I think he's going to have a we're finally going to see one time become, you know, one time getting knocked out in a fight. Tim Tszyu, he's not the most refined guy, but he's young. He does want to prove himself, so he is going to take this fight very seriously. I don't think they have much to be scared of in this fight. That counter left hook, I don't think is going to have the effect like it did against guys like Mario Barrios and Riverside Rocky and whoever else, that it was still somewhat hurting. But we'll just see how it goes. Maybe I'll watch the fight again. I don't know if I want to support Amazon Prime, you know what I'm saying, for reasons that are not in accordance to boxing. But again, we'll just see how this goes. And again, I got Tim Tszyu for the KO. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.